Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Anything you want, PLS get it. You want a TV? PLS get it. You want a chair? PLS get it. Hey, anything you want, PLS get it. Washing machine? PLS get it. Cosmetics? PLS get it. Ties to the kids them? PLS get it. Me tell you anything you want, PLS get it. Check us out at 42 Wellington Street, Laceytown, Georgetown, or contact us on 227-6332. Spend less and save more at Payless Variety Store.
Surprise your family today with a nice vanilla-flavored cake made with Maid Marian cake flour. It's perfect for the birthday, anniversary, special occasion, or just celebrating the joy of having your family together. So get a pack or two of Maid Marian cake flour to make that moist, fluffy, vanilla-flavored sponge cake, donut-shaped cakes, Swiss rolls, and other delicious baked goods. Bring on the smiles with Maid Marian cake flour. Made and packaged not by hand by Nomilco, the National Milling Company of Guyana.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants, hotels, and bars. Place your orders now on telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. With fresh seafood daily, Dave's offers custom cuts of your choice: snapper, trout, banger, gillback, shrimp, crab, and more. Order today. Dave's, Guyana's largest exporter to the USA.
Craving a meal that's big on flavor but doesn't break the bank? KFC has got you covered with the KFC 3-piece meal deal. Get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, mac and cheese, a biscuit, and a drink, all for just $2,200. It's the perfect deal, available every day. Enjoy your 3-piece meal deal at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Yeah, well, good evening and welcome to another program of the Sean Devers Sports Watch. It's Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. And on tonight's program, we talk cricket with the USA-based Guyanese, Basil Butcher. He's a fitness coach and manager of the recent team that he took to the Sir Garfield Sobers tournament in Barbados. And talking about Barbados, we've got the former Barbados and West Indies opener, Philo Alfonso Wallace, also on tonight's program. Tonight's program comes to you with the compliments of Dave's West Indian Imports, KFC, Finger Licking Good, Nomilco, Builders Lumberyard, Payless Variety Store, and Survival Supermarket. Good night to you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. We're in the world. You're looking at the program. It's on Kaieteur Facebook page. It's on YouTube. And of course, you can listen on the radio here in Guyana, all across Guyana. 3 counties, 1 station, the voice of your choice on the Sean Devers Sports Watch. And we talk about the CPL. Trinidad and Tobago's got a very strong team. They've got lots of experience intermingled with some young players. And of course, they've got the Warriors also, a strong team, arguably the best batter in the West Indies. Shai Hope is in that team. And of course, Hetty Meyer, who has been turned into a slugger by the IPL. He had a duck, two-ball duck in the first match Guyana played. They're going to be playing the Falcons in their second match on Friday. And of course, they've got a good team though. McDermott, he did well. Moeen Ali, Shepard. They've got all the local players, and they've got some international players also. Of course, the pacey Shamar Joseph and the evergreen Imran Tahir, who's now 46 and looking like 26. Good evening to you guys.
Good evening to you, Sean. Good evening, Philo. Good evening to your listeners and viewers, Sean.
All right.
Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Bassett. Good evening to your listeners and viewers as well.
All right. I was talking with Ren Miller. We weren't actually talking. It was on a Facebook chat or WhatsApp. I can't remember. But he was telling me that he was very disappointed with the condition of the BT, which used to be the Cable and Wireless ground in Barbados. We actually played there when Barbados and Guyana drew in 1988, and Barbados eventually won the tournament. That was the year when Floyd Reefer, a young Floyd Reefer, I think he was about 15 or 16, took a record catches. I think he took 5 catches off Henderson Brooms. And Jerry Curl was just coming into fashion, and that was the first time I've seen a cricketer with Jerry Curl and some brooms. Had a nice fancy hairstyle. But coming back to what's the status of Floyd the Reefer. BT? Yeah, Floyd Reefer. What's the status? No, Floyd Reefer was the man who took the catches off of Hendy Brooms, who had the Jerry Curl hairstyle. I remember that quite well. What's the status of that ground now? Because I am disappointed too that ground has gone. Philo?
I'm sure the thing is about BET used to be obviously cable and wireless in the early days.
Yeah.
And you know cable and wireless is telecommunications out of the UK, and they were the official sponsor of West Indies cricket teams and the series in the region. Then it turned to BET, Barbados External Telecommunications, and they continued to play cricket. Floyd would have played for that club, along with Courtney Brown, Gordon Maxwell, just to name a few, Ron Bates, and those type of players would have played there. And then when BET dissolved, they went to Lime, and Lime did not really pick up the offer of having the ground. Lime moved from that location ability to a place called just outside of, close to the community college in Barbados. So now that BET complex, that cable and wireless ground, that complex there is a Ross University, which is an American university that operates from that building. So that building is something like obviously a university where people, let students study medicine and stuff like that. The ground is no longer used for cricket. I was up there yesterday because there's a hockey festival going on in Barbados, and I went to pick up my son from the Barbados Football Association. Their office is up there as well. That building area is generally got the Barbados Olympic Association, the Aquatic Center with the Swimming Association, National Sports Council is in there, the St. Gymnasium. You got the hockey, you got football. Cricket was supposed to be up there, but cricket is no longer there. So when I passed yesterday, the ground now is, the grass has been cut, and their football, their goal posts, goal bars on the ground. So I just take it now that they're using it now to play football. No cricket is played there at all for the last maybe 8 to 10 years. No cricket is played at Cable and Wireless ground in Wildy, which is sad because I can remember playing youth cricket there. I can remember West Indies cricket teams, senior teams, practicing at Cable and Wireless. As I said, Cable and Wireless sponsored West Indies cricket in those days. But it's just gone to ruin now. And I just saw football bars yesterday, goalposts up. So obviously they've turned it into a football field rather than cricket. It's just a sad state.
Yeah, and there was a nice little hill going down to the ground, and
everything is still there, Sean. The pavilion, everything is still there. I don't know what condition the pavilion is in, but the pavilion is still there. You have lawn tennis courts as well that sit just to the eastern side of the pavilion. And all we talk about indoor facilities in the Caribbean, that facility at Wildy is pristine. It's ideal to have an indoor facility, and you got the field of play. You got a lovely pavilion. But the thing is that we don't have the type of thinkers in the cricket administration. We have a lot of people talking a lot of rhetoric, using a lot of big language, But the simple things that need to be done to get our cricket right, it's not happening. And you just get a reoccurrence of the same decimal points all the time. Because Wildy is an ideal facility for indoor and outdoor cricket. So a deal could have been brokered between the Barbados Cricket Association and the people from Rock University. Say, look, we can control the cricket field, and we want to use these tennis courts. Now we're converting them into indoor facilities, and you can have a perfect cricket facility up there for the young cricketers to go and practice and hone their skills. And they're within the Wildy area, and it's all a sporting area.
Yes, I remember that ground very well. I made my highest regional under 19 score batting at number 9 on that ground. I wouldn't tell you how much runs I made, but it was a not-out score.
Joel Garner played Division 1 cricket for that club. Joel Garner, the famous Barbados and West Indies fast bowler, played cricket for that club. It was called Cable and Wireless in the early days. Yeah. And it used to be Cable and Wireless because the members were workers of Cable and Wireless. Even like how we had Banks Sports Club, the players were workers at the Banks Brewery. The Banks Brewery ground in Wildy now is now a football ground.
Wow.
And Banks Brewery is no longer in Wildy. It's moved to up on the ABC highway. And that Banks Brewery is now turned into a mall. And where the pavilion was, now they have a chicken barn outlet that sells chicken.
Wow. Basil, that's mainly the problem around the region, grounds. The high expense of maintaining a ground, clubs I'm talking about, and even Guyana, where there are a lot of new facilities being built. I understand recently Minister Charles Ramson and the Guyana government installed lights on Enmore. I'm hoping that Enmore returns to be a first-class venue because back in the days, they used to play first-class cricket there. I remember the last time, I think 3 Guyanese in one innings made hundreds. It was at Enmore, Hooper, Chandra Paul, and I can't remember who's Lambert. They made that 300s in a one innings against Trinidad and Tobago in a 4-day game. But the only place now we play first-class cricket is the Providence Stadium. How do you think grounds and clubs not being maintained properly or not being financed or struggling to find players, how does that affect the grassroots of West Indies cricket? Basil?
I think that's fundamentally where our cricket has deteriorated. That's the foundation. And that foundation has been deteriorating for years, and nothing has been done to arrest that deterioration. I mean, Sean, let's talk from a Guyana perspective. The situation in Georgetown, where getting grounds to fulfill the competitions is a challenge.
Yeah, especially 2-day cricket.
Exactly. To play 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, you're hard pressed to get a ground to play on the same ground Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. And I have said this, and I remember I said this on your show when the vice president of the Cricket West Indies was on with myself, and I raised the issue about clubs and the subsidizing of clubs, because as you outlined earlier, and he spoke of in Trinidad at the time, the previous prime minister had earmarked a substantial amount
from government
to subsidize these clubs, because cricket it's become such one of the biggest issues, and you would know this. You don't have the membership numbers in clubs like you had in the halcyon days, right? So subscriptions and support to the bar and so on from members was more than enough to maintain the grounds and those kinds of things. And that's not the situation today. So you have to get sponsorship, and you need to have the government participate in helping these clubs, subsidizing them, so they can have all the various resources that are necessary to develop our players.
Well, GCC borders the historic venue, first ever test match won there in 1930. And not even first-class cricket is being played there. You should see the condition of the stands. Well, there are no stands except the concrete Rohan Kanai stand. And that's a sad situation.
And GCC Border is the oldest cricket ground in the region.
Yeah. And they lost membership because when Test cricket was played there and international cricket, the members were allowed to go. And when that removed from there to Providence, the membership dwindled.
Yeah, I could tell you, I was one of those members that after Test cricket, why should I continue to be a member? There was no value there anymore, unfortunately, you know. And it's a sad state of affairs because I one day I was watching at a program. The then mayor of Georgetown was Hamilton Green, and he was recounting.
That's a long time ago.
Yes, but he was recounting when the World Cup. You know, remember there was talk that GCC would be the place to take over GFC.
Yeah, and they would merge it and so on. But the space was not adequate for that.
No, I had heard that was said, but Hamilton Green in the program, because he was the mayor at the time of Georgetown, stated there was a plan. There was drawings. He said there was a plan, but the government wanted to have this other facility rather than have Georgetown border. Look at Kensington. Look at Sabina Park. Look at Queen's Park. They all still exist.
Yeah, but Kensington is still there. But the Pickwick Club has gone to where Philo?
Pickwick Club has gone up to Four Square Factory.
Yeah.
Up by
the lumberyard.
That's it.
No. Four Square Factory is where Four Square Rum is made.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's given them that ground up there. It's called the Four Square Oval. So it's right next to the rum refinery in St. Philip.
That's what that building is. Because last year we played a game there. I saw that big building on the.
If you had known what rum being brewed there, you would have taken a trip.
No, I don't.
Yeah, rum is made there at Four Square Factory, rum factory. Yeah, some very good rum as well. So Sir David Seals gave Pickwick that ground. And they've developed it. It's a very nice ground. We need some attention into though.
Yeah, I covered cricket there.
Better. It needs better side screens. The side screens need improving.
Yes.
But as Sean said, the government, as you said, Basil, you know, a lot needs to be done to help these clubs because you don't get the thing is about the clubs in Barbados is that the players who represent West Indies don't really play for the local clubs.
Yeah.
If these players used to come around the local clubs or play for the local clubs when they have their time off, it will help the clubs to generate money at the bar.
Yes.
I don't care what kind of international player you are. If you go to your local club, people will follow you.
Exactly.
But because they don't play for the local clubs struggle to make money. Even like the other day, they had a camp in Barbados before the Test series, and they had some of the players who represented Pickwick. I went to watch a semi-final game. And some of the players in the West Indies team or playing the West Indies team, he's a member of Pickwick. And he didn't even turn up the Saturday, and they had a 10-day camp. He could have asked Coach Sammy, look, Coach Sammy, my club is playing off the semi-final. Let me just go and spend an hour and a half, you know, with the boys, just to say hello, give them
and Darren would have gone and made his presence felt also, because I remember some time back when he went to, I asked him to come and talk to the youngsters at GCC, and he was a little late, and the players had started the match, and he said he felt so bad to stop a match, but the children there were already big on him, and they were overjoyed.
I think that is one of the reasons why the club life has struggled. It's sad to hear you talk about GCC because when they played cricket and first class cricket, they was very active.
That's right.
Yes, you have Providence, but you still need a second ground.
Yeah.
You need a second ground. I think the administrators are planning not to have redeveloped the Georgetown Cricket Club to make it second ground that can host international matches. Obviously, you got Trinidad and Tobago, now they have Queen's Park and the Brian Lara Stadium. So it's just a lack of understanding and knowledge of those people who call themselves cricket administrators to really do what is right for cricket. Because if you're going to play cricket at Providence, you should keep George the GCC.
Yeah, as a first class venue, because it was in fact one of the practice venues for the World Cup.
Yeah, but yeah, and the thing is too that you don't want people traveling out of Georgetown to go up to Providence to practice. They can practice right there in Georgetown.
Yeah,
so that could be a
they practice at
area for the cricketers.
Everest Police and DCC and Georgetown Cricket Club for the last World Cup. And if those grounds are suitable for international teams to practice, why not play first-class cricket there? Anyhow, we've got to take a small break for a short pause for a business cost, and then we'll be right back.
Anything you want, PLS get it. You want a TV? PLS get it. You want a chair? PLS get it. Hey, anything you want, PLS get it. Washing machine? PLS get it. Cosmetics? PLS get it. Ties to the kids them, PLS get it. Me tell you anything you want, PLS get it. Check us out at 42 Wellington Street, Lacytown, Georgetown, or contact us on 227-6332. Spend less and save more at PLS Variety Store.
Surprise your family today with a nice vanilla-flavored cake made with Maid Marian cake flour. It's perfect for the birthday, anniversary, special occasion, or just celebrating the joy of having your family together. So get a pack or two of Maid Marian cake flour to make that moist, fluffy, vanilla-flavored sponge cake, donut-shaped cakes, Swiss rolls, and other delicious baked goods. Bring on the smiles with Maid Marian cake flour. Made and packaged not by hand by Nomilco, the National Milling Company of Guyana.
National Milling Company of Guyana.
Dave's West Indian Imports is a wholesaler of all types of seafood with their own processing plant. Dave supplies supermarkets, restaurants, hotels, and bars. Place your orders now on telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. With fresh seafood daily, Dave's offers custom cuts of your choice: snapper, trout, banger, gillback, shrimp, crab, and more. Order today. Dave's, Guyana's largest exporter to the USA.
Craving a meal that's big on flavor but doesn't break the bank? KFC has got you covered with the KFC 3-piece meal deal. Get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, mac and cheese, a biscuit, and a drink. All for just $2,200. It's the perfect deal, available every day. Enjoy your 3-piece meal deal at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Yeah, well, welcome back to another program of the Sean Dever Sports Watch. Tonight we've got Philo Wallace and Basil Butcher as our guests as we talk cricket. I'm pleased to inform that after 4 years of no first division cricket, two-day cricket, this weekend there was two-day cricket played in Berbice, and Junior Sinclair, in fact, made the most of that memorable re-entry to fourth division cricket, making a double century for Rose Hall Town. And Albion was also in winners row, but they really bashed Police, I think. Police being bowled out, Berbice Police, that is, being bowled out for 33. So even though there are grounds now and the sun has come out in the last couple of days, the adverse weather has been raging here and spoiling all the sporting events outdoor. But when we played in Georgetown Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And in Berbice, for Bormine, we played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the next Saturday we played the one day and the Sunday. How important is 3-day cricket to our players? Because there was a situation in Berbice that I supposedly heard, reported by someone or the other, that cricket, 4-day or 3-day or even 2-day cricket was not the main agenda for the sponsors, because they wanted to sponsor T20 cricket, which attracts more people and is shorter and they get more value for their money. But how important is 3-day cricket? And Philo, does Barbados still play 3-day first division cricket?
Yeah.
Yes, we play 3-day cricket. It's called Elite Division now, and you have First Division. The thing is that Barbados has not played 3-day cricket has not been played in Barbados since May. The BC has stopped 3-day cricket, and it will restart in September. Either the 13th or the 15th of September, it will restart, which is quite sad. It's the longest break ever in the history of Barbados cricket that 3-day cricket has taken. They flooded the calendar with a lot of T20 games, and then there was no cricket during the crop-over period. They just had the 50 over restarted on the weekend, and they got through the white T20 competition with the lower division clubs. But 3-day cricket is what I grew up on.
Yeah.
There, we played Saturday, and then the next Sunday used to be a free Sunday. You play a 1-day game, which used to be 40 overs, and then you continue the 3-day game Saturday, Sunday for continuity. And then when I started to play 3-day cricket, there were no coverage, so you had to play on wet pitches if the ground was fit enough to play, and the pitch was not that wet. You had to play on a wet pitch. You had to obviously learn to adjust and play back foot cricket, and there's certain shots you just cannot play when you're batting on a wet pitch. But then as the years went to roll on, then they went into covering the pitches, and then they introduced promotion and demotion. And we do play 3-day cricket. 3-day cricket is quite important because out of 3-day cricket, you're going to select the players to go to trials to look to represent Barbados in the 4-day competition. Now, the trial matches that they play for Barbados senior level is 4-day cricket. So you play 4-day trial matches coming out of 3-day cricket. Only today, we're speaking to one of the other Sabating coaches, and he's against 2-day cricket, because what is happening in 2-day cricket is that if you get first in this league, a lot of the teams are shutting down on you and just batting. They're not pushing for a win. And Barbados beat Jamaica the other day badly because Jamaica bat badly in the first innings. Barbados had a big score in the first innings, leading by 140 something. And when Jamaica went to bat a second time, Barbados had enough time to pull them out. So Barbados won that game. But if you're playing 3-day cricket, you can try to get the boys to settle down and learn to bat time. Yeah. Because that is our problem, batting time. Even today, someone sent me a notice that a batter was batting well because there's a under 15 final at Kensington Oval between Harrison College and Lodge School. All the other games, the preliminary rounds were 2-day games, but the final 3 days. And one batter today was batting really well, and then he played introduced a shot or got out, and he had a decent score. So these are the things that you want to try and eliminate out of our young cricketers, the bad batting habits that will come into play if you're playing 50 over T20 and 2-day cricket. So we need to get a structure where we can play 3-day cricket and get the players accustomed to batting now. And I like to win. I like to see teams pushing for victory, because then it tells me something about the captain's skill in leadership and the bowler's fitness and how they can. Because if you're playing 3-day cricket, you're going to be playing, if you're playing Saturday, Sunday, you're not going to prepare the pitch for Sunday. You're going to play the same pitch. So it is you coming back now to bowl on a worn pitch, which obviously helps you to develop your skills and you learn your little tricks. And the captain have to adjust the field because the pitch is on a day 3 pitch now. So you can't set the same field level to a day 1 pitch. So all these are things that help develop the skills of captains and players. But we tend to like quickness in the region.
Yeah, in that same under-17 tournament which is being played in Trinidad, Guyana has 2 draws. Even though a guy by the name of Shamar Apple scored a brilliant 123 in one of the matches. I think there were 2 centuries scored in that tournament so far.
Yes, in the same match.
Yeah. Basil, how do you see, because when we played, there was no 2020 cricket when we were youth players, even when we started to play senior cricket, the forest phase. How do you see 2020 affecting not only the standard and the skill sets of the batters, but the space to play more 4-day cricket? I remember back in the days when a touring team came, they played Barbados, they played Guyana. So they had a lots of, now the calendar is rampacked with T20s.
Yeah, look, I remember when my eldest brother was the president of the Barbies board, and he was in the US. I asked him about how was the 3-day competition in Barbies, and he looked at me and said, "You mad?" He said, just as you said, he says sponsors don't want to, would never sponsor 3-day cricket, and it's even a struggle to get them to sponsor 2-day cricket, right? So that was when I first heard that, because like Philo said, when I played club cricket in Guyana, we used to do it Saturday, Sunday, and then the following Saturday, and then you start the next 3-day game that Sunday and into the next weekend. That's how we used to do it, right? And then somebody, I'm not gonna call names, said to me, well, the 2-day cricket now, they're still playing the same amount of time. They start the game at 9:45
and they play 100 overs, I think.
Right. So I said, no. I said there is a mental thing to knowing you have to come back on a 3rd day.
And the pitch is deteriorating more than 2 days.
Exactly. And it's a valuable for that player to have to come and play in those conditions, etc. Guys tell me, yo, but the pitch this and so. I said, how come that wasn't a problem back in the day? So I don't understand that. And and Philo raised something interesting about the covers, because while I was in Barbados recently and talking to folks, one person and then more people said the same thing, because I kept asking, why is it in Barbados today the players that are being produced don't play short bowling like their predecessors? Because I grew up, you could not bowl short to Bajan batters, right? Today you could rough them up. And the guy said to me, and then others said the same thing, the minute covers got introduced into Barbados cricket, that's when those pitches and so on change. And even one of the candidates, Henry Wallace, raised that in the discussion with Andrew Mason when he was on there. He said the covering of the pitches all long. So
he sat on the board for 6 years.
Yes,
and if you see
the
see deficiencies, why you don't raise them at board level?
Exactly.
Why raise them in a campaign to become a president? Those are the things 100%. I don't understand. And I'll tell you something too. The coach, the curators in Barbados cover the pitch more, and the pitches are exposed to the elements.
Exactly.
They don't leave the pitches uncovered anymore because they keep talking about rainwater.
And I remember that same pitch. That same pitch at BT ground. It was myself and Paul Passad. We went on to the ground. Well, I batted at number 9. Paul was the opener. And there was the covers. And we thought that the covers was on the pitch. The area that we stood on, the groundsman said, wanna come off the ground, come off the pitch. And we said that this is the pitch. Paul got diarrhea right away. Because the pitch was green.
It used to be a grass pitch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because and Philo raised the issue there also, because of not covering the pitches. Batters and bowlers had to learn to play in varying conditions, so it helped to develop your technique to deal. Today, as soon as our batters see the ball deviate, they at sea. Those are things you learned in club cricket.
That's right.
And we got a term what you call wet wickets, Philo. In Ghana, we call it a sticky dog.
Yeah.
The ball coming off a good length. So you now have to learn how to evade and all those things at club level. Those skills get developed there.
and we use less protection on our bodies.
Exactly.
Now they have more protection on the bodies, and as the body deviate, the pitch is not good. All they want to do is bat on a new Barbara Green road where it's flat and the ball can come chin height and they can drive. As soon as the ball bounces past their waist, they don't have a iota of how to play. And that is a deficiency in West Indies batters.
Exactly.
I remember
correct.
Former West Indies fast bowler Ryan King, when we went to St. Martin, he said that was a highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
So we're getting false results from our cricket. Because when we really go to the hard cricket nations to play cricket, then we're going to realize, because we're going up to Sharjah to play some T20 games, then we go to India for a test series and New Zealand. Two very difficult countries to play cricket in against two difficult teams. And this winter for West Indies is very peculiar because we're going to be away until next year. So when the guys leave in September, a lot of them will not be returning until January, February 2026. So it's a very unusual series that is coming up for us. And that is why I believe that our international coach should not be in the CPL. He should be planning and strategizing for those upcoming test series. We have played 3 test matches and we have lost all 3 against Australia. And we have played for test championship points, I believe, in India and New Zealand. And it's important that we do well in test championships because nobody's going to keep pulling bucks, throwing water into the sea if they're not getting fish.
And when we speak of Trinidad and Tobago, the emphasis is not on red ball cricket anymore. It's on white ball cricket, especially T20. And that might be the reason they have not won a first-class title since 2017.
And Sean, and let me just say this.
2007, in fact.
Yes, Sean, yes. I heard earlier today is 20 years.
Yeah.
Nothing that came out of that discussion, at least what we heard in the press conference, discuss anything about cricket at the grassroots level, club cricket, and so on and so forth, right? And that is the place you got to look at. Like I said earlier, me and Philo was in the program earlier, and I raised the issue because I raised it here before that we need some people to go around the region on the ground, observe and speak with the people in all the various territories as to their challenges, watch what the coaches are doing, watch how the regional team is training, the methods and so on, so we can get to see why our players are not developing as we would want them to develop, so we can put in place the solutions. But we haven't done that. I once asked that to the DOC when he and the then high performance manager Graham West and the coaching manager, the Australian guy, both of whom have left since, they came around after he got into office and just met with the territorial board people. And I asked him, did you guys meet with the other stakeholders to hear the challenges? And I understand they didn't even go and see a practice session of the Guyana franchise team, because in that you would have gleaned, are these guys training the way you would want elite players to be training? So you could have then arrest certain things at that level. But hopefully, if you had spoken to the people at the lower levels, you would understand why the players are not developing as they are.
Well, it's good to know that the Minister of Education, Priya Manichan, she has implemented a 5-point plan for schools, secondary schools, that you have to play a sport, which most likely will be football or cricket, and you've got to do a cultural event, and you've got to do a foreign language and so forth and so on. But that's good. But where are the coaches going to come from? Guyana's got over 100 schools. And the cricket board, I don't think the cricket board is doing enough. They want the government to do everything, which, to my mind, is not good enough for the cricket board. They just sit back. There was a girls' tournament the other day. And when the girl who's from Trinidad approached the cricket board to do a girls' cricket program, the cricket board said that's a good idea, but we never thought about that. How could you be on the cricket board and never thinking about? And girls' cricket is
Well,
almost non-existent in Guyana.
well, Sean, didn't we hear the chairman of the CWI cricket committee say um, that that recent conference for them to get ideas as to the challenges? Now, this is a guy who has been around in cricket at administrative level probably about 30 years or more. And you needed that to get the challenges. That was the most disappointing on his part when I heard him speak.
All right, let's take another short commercial break and then we'll be right back. We'll be talking about CPL cricket now and, of course, the future tournaments for the West Indies for the rest of the year.
Looking for quality lumber for your dream home or an upcoming project? Then make Builders Lumberyard your premier provider. We provide a full selection of rough and dress lumber, such as Green Heart, Purple Heart, Kabakali, all types of mixed hardwood, Silver Bali, Ditarma, and many other species. We also stock clean and knotted pine doors in various sizes, Qualable posts, farm boards, plywood, and all types of molding. Orders can be cut to any specification and delivered to your worksite. With over 25 years of experience in the lumber industry, we are determined to provide a quality lumber that meets our home builders and contractors' every need. Builders Lumberyard and you will always be a winning combination. Visit our main office at 12 Lombard and Deroy Street or our branch office at 66 Ben Street, Georgetown, or telephone 225-9530 227-0904.
Anything you want, PLS get it. You want a TV? PLS get it. You want a chair? PLS get it. Hey, anything you want, PLS get it. Washing machine? PLS get it. Cosmetics? PLS get it. Ties to the kids them? PLS get it. Me tell you anything you want, PLS get it. Check us out at 42 Wellington Street, Lacey Town, Georgetown, or contact us on 227-6332. Spend less and save more at PLS Variety Store.
Now Milko has done it again. We've listened to you and now available nationwide. Another convenient size packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. It's here. The 5 kg or 11 pounds new packaging of Thunderbolt all-purpose flour. Now available at your nearest supermarket.
Now Milko, National Milling Company of Guyana.
Attention seafood suppliers, Dave's, the largest purchaser of fresh fish from Guyana, is interested in buying from you. Dave's deeply cares about bolstering the local economy and is looking to begin business with an eager seller of fresh fish and agro products. Dave's needs a constant supply of snapper, butterfish, bangameri, bundari crab, sheriga crab, white belly shrimp, bon carilo, edo, saijambaji, and more. Contact Dave's West Indian Imports at 21 Middle Street, Viceless, East Coast, Demerara. Telephone 501-4087 or 644-8999. Dave's will purchase.
Craving a meal that's big on flavor but doesn't break the bank? KFC has got you covered with the KFC 3-piece meal deal. Get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, mac and cheese, a biscuit, and a drink. All for just $2,200. It's the perfect deal, available every day. Enjoy your 3-piece meal deal at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Well, welcome to the final segment of the Sean Devers Sports Watch. On tonight's program, we're talking cricket with Basil Butcher out of the USA and former Barbados and the West Indies opener. He's now in his home country, Barbados. And let's talk about the CPL. There's a rule this year, well, not only this year, that you've got to play 3 emerging players, and so on and so forth. But what are your thoughts about this tournament? What is it benefiting or not benefiting West Indies cricket?
Sean, I don't think that the CPL has benefited us, because can we point to a young player who has come out of the CPL and has gone on to the international level and has excelled, really coming out of the CPL? people might point to say Hetmaya and Puran are probably two, but now who is coming behind them? And they had the breakout tournament. How many of those guys, those youngsters that came out of the breakout tournament, are getting the opportunities to play in this year's CPL thus far?
You mean
Because,
to play
look,
in the match or just be in the squad?
Play in the match. Play in the match.
Okay.
Because the only way we're gonna know if they are where
Ready,
they're
yeah.
at is when they play.
Mhm.
And we want to see them in the fire. That's the only way they're gonna get better. Because I use an example. The guy Pretorius that's playing now for South Africa in Test cricket. Pretorius came out of the Under 19 World Cup, got picked by a South Africa, one of the franchises in their T20. He got an opportunity, and what did he do? He was the most dominant batter in the tournament, which subsequently got him selected to play for South Africa, right? So we have to do something similar, because we need to see what is in the till, what players we have, because the guys, the two names I call, one retired, the other one, as you called him earlier, he has now become just a slugger, right? So who do we have in the coming through? And Sean, the other thing is, why is Sammy coaching when he should be, as we said earlier, he should be observing the players? That's a conflict in my view. But West Indiesboro don't see it as such.
And I feel it's too much pressure on Sami to be 2020 one-day international and test coach and the only selector.
I agree.
Philo.
Yeah, my thing about the CPL is that, we hear all these fancy decisions being made by CPL, but is it a true reflection of helping West Indies cricket? I've even taken it a little further. We have three international players who are leading CPL franchises who are all over 35.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see very little of our emerging talent playing as well, because when you look at the franchise system, the franchise owners want to win. They want to have bragging rights over the other franchise owners.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to win, you could go for experience, or the experience can pull through to win matches.
Guyana's captain is 4-6. He's
the young guys who they will hardly learn anything. And it is unfortunate, but that is the way how it is. Like, that CWI cannot take a hand in CPL because of the race that they signed to CPL.
Yeah.
You can't have any other T20 tournaments in the region unless CPL give them the blessings and all kind of stuff like that, and there are restrictions on how many teams. So there's a lot of stumbling blocks in relation to how our cricket is being developed for the white ball segment of it. I know there's a lot of white ball cricket in Trinidad, but is that appropriate cricket for young cricketers to play, to develop? I am a big believer that no junior cricketer should play on the white ball cricket.
I don't even think a player like Kelvin Anderson should be playing T20 cricket at this stage of his career.
But Sean, they will play T20 because of the money. But we have a series starting on the 19th. West Indies on the 19th, playing Sri Lanka on the 19th in 750 over. Not even 2 3-day games or 2 4-day games and 3 50 over games. They're playing 7 50 over games at the under 19 between Sri Lanka and West Indies youth. Now, where's the dynamics in that? Tell me, what we're looking to produce? White ball cricketers. They're going to say, with 50 over cricket, they can battle up. But it's only 300 balls. I can tell you this, Sean. One of the Barbados under 15 players who is in Trinidad now. Obviously, in the under 15s, they play 1-day cricket. He told the coach he never feels so long yet. He feels it for 6 hours. He had to feel for a whole day. And he said, Coach, I've never felt so long in cricket. He just came out on the 15, he's in on the 17. So what are we breeding? We're breeding white ball cricketers. And I'm afraid that CPL is going to continue to breed white ball cricketers. And it's going to hurt the development of our red ball players. We have a guy called Kevin Wickham at the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. Do you think he's going to get a game? With Gora going in good form, you got young Joel Andrews. You got all the other young players in that squad. They're going to pick from their homegrown talent to expose their homegrown talent. So Kevin Wickham, who was just the vice captain for the Barbados for their franchise, who went to India with a group of young batters to learn to play spin, we might hardly get to see him play a game. Mind you, it's going to be T20, but we are hardly going to get to see him play 5 or 6 games in the CPL. And don't tell me it's early doors and injuries might creep in. Might not get an injury, might not play. But these are the things that we're faced with. So we have to find ways of trying to help our younger cricketers to understand the importance of playing the longer format. And when they do play the longer format, they score runs. I was just reading an article. Sarfraz Khan, the Indian middle order batter, who missed the tour, who was not selected for the tour England, who went to the Border Gavaskar series in Australia and played a game. You know, he played his first game and he scored 138, not out. So he sent a message because West Indies are going to India and South Africa. So he sent a message early. Look, I want to get in this series, so I got 138. And those are the kind of scores you want to see from our players when they get the opportunities to score big hundreds and send a message to the selector. Look, I want to play Test match cricket. So these are the things that territorial boards and coaches have to instill in the young players.
And as you said, the regional boards doesn't have anything to do with the CPL because of the deal made by West Indies Cricket Board, now CWI. I think they gave them a contract for 50 years or some ridiculous time like that. But when the Guyana staged their Global Super League, they had to collaborate with the CPL. That's why it was a collaboration with the government of Guyana and the CPL. And I don't think that was a developmental tournament. The tournament, the reason for the tournament was to promote Guyana on the international stage. The Guyana society, the culture, and everything, that was the real reason. Because you can't develop players who would have been already supposed to be developed, looking at the team they picked.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is that even with Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister, Honorable Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister, said basically he had to get approval from CPL to play that Emancipation T20 competition that just ended last week or week before. He had to get approval from them. He got the blessings from CWL. He finally got the blessings from CWA. And he had to write to CPL. I think he also wrote to ICC to get approval that he can play that Emancipation T20 when he honored the members of the 1975 victorious West Indies World Cup squad. So there's a lot of things there's a lot of red tape around these T20 competitions in the region.
And Basil, I'm hearing that they want to run a parallel CPL, West Indies Cricket Board, well, CWI, because this tournament is all about winning and not enough West Indians are getting to perform, and that's what they want to pick from when they pick a West Indies team, all West Indians, no foreign players. How is that going?
I that would be something cool, like what we used to have
with Stanford.
After the Stanford ended, you remember they were
they had a West Indies
20 tournament, right? That's where people like Narayan.
Yes, he went to the Champions League.
Right. Narayan and those guys came out of that that experience. Yeah, I agree with something like that because we're not seeing players coming through the CPL, and unfortunately the CPL, as said earlier, is not to develop West Indies cricket. It hasn't been as such. We talk about the captains, all of these. I mean, Wisa, Imran Tahir, and Imad Wazim for the Falcons.
All right? Over 35.
Yeah, and when CPL started, that was how Pollard, Kyron Powell, at the time too, was it Marlon Samuels was one of the captains too.
Yeah.
Because those guys, they were giving these guys an opportunity because they saw them as maybe future leaders to get into the captaincy, get practice, that develop the captaincy skills. But this thing has gone, as Sean, as you remember, a few years ago, when Puran was the captain and Etmai in the team, and Guyana Amazon Warriors had that foolish strategy of sending Odin Smith up the order. We had a World Cup around the corner, and I remember Bishop as a commentator lamenting, and then a few days later, he came back on air and said he was told in no uncertain terms by the Guyana setup, this is not about West Indies cricket, this is about the Amazon Warriors, right? So, you know, those things are why, you know, we have something got to be done, so that we can facilitate developing the new generation of players that can take us on the world stage for the T20 World Cups in the future.
But CPL is not that thing because that's more commercialism. Winning is more important than development of local players.
Of course.
And of course,
Exactly.
the prize money and the bragging rights from the owners.
Yeah, because the other thing about it, unlike IPL or South Africa or BBL or the 100 and so on, those cricket boards own those leagues or have a big stake in those leagues, so they have a say, right? In the case of South Africa, it's a 50-50 thing. Australia owns theirs outright, and the 100 is ECB, and IPL is BCCI. West Indies board has no serious stake, except they supposed to get a fee every year from CPL. So they don't have a great say. It's going to be based on how good a relationship they have, but still, the franchise owners not going to be going along with these things. They're concerned about winning, full stop.
And who owns the MSL in America? The Indians?
Yes, there's a group called ACE, American Cricket Enterprise. They're the ones that own MLC. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call the Bush League. Where
That's the Lucia Kings that scored 200 runs in the 20 over shit.
Yes. I got the game running as I listening to Paris Pay's show. Chase top scored with 61 or something like that. Yeah.
So, Johnson Charles scored 52 for 28 balls, and Tim Davis scored 46 for 23.
Somebody made 46 in 23.
Tim David,
yes. And that ground, if you don't score 200, you lose. You generally,
so that just
you're not in the game.
So it is a lot of work to be done, Sean. A lot of decisions have to be made. I don't think we have the right people in the positions to make those decisions, because to me, when you look at West Indies cricket at the moment, the position that we're in at the moment, there isn't a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of people are wishing for West Indies to come out of this dry period and get back into winning ways and move up the international ladder. But when you look at the other international teams, you'll see that they're leaps and bounds ahead of West Indies. We just saw South Africa crush Australia, where the slow bowlers eat up the Australian batters. But yet we saw the Australians here eating up our bowlers. So when you look at those kind of results, you ask yourself, where does West Indies truly stand? Where is the improvement going to come, and how is it going to come, and when do we have the personnel to turn around the fortunes of our cricket? Because the personnel now are in the three strategic formats. So you can't blame Z or B. You have to blame A. And there's been about Andre Coley coming back. If we resort back to Andre Coley after releasing him, where are we going? Andre Coley just took our A team against South Africa and lost every game. I now see the under 19 squad. Jerome Taylor now is the under 19 coach. He was just our A team coach and we got slaughtered against South Africa A. But now we've asked him now to coach the under 19s. Why can't we use this? Why can't we use someone of experience in that position rather than going to Jerome Taylor, sorry. Jerome Taylor, I got some video. He was just in Maryland coaching in an indoor facility.
Yes.
So we've now asked him to come back now to coach on the 19 setup. Who are the coaches in the academy? You have Rohan Nurse, who's going to be head coach. Clint Sinkhead, who is the deputy to Gill, is going to be the manager of the other 19 team.
Yeah,
All these things are happening that I don't understand why they're happening, and the decisions, who make these decisions.
yeah, because Philo, the thing I would love to understand how they go about evaluating coaches to put them in these positions, right? Because I don't think whomever is doing it, they're not doing a good job, because they just put somebody because it was there. Is that person really getting the job done? We need to have some proper standards, because that's why, or who suffers? The players suffer when you're not putting, as we say, you're putting square pegs in round holes.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand how we make the appointments. Who make the recommendations? And if the CWI board they ratify these appointments that come to them, because Jerome Taylor just failed us at the 18 level with our A team. And now you're going to tell this man, come and coach you on the 19th.
All right,
How does those things happen? We don't know. And we're hoping that people who can make the right decisions for PWI and to better our cricket. Too long our cricket has been suffering.
All right, time has run away from us, and this is where we've got to go. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of things more to talk about, subsequent programs. On behalf of Basil Butcher, Philo Wallace, and our efficient technical man, I'm Sean Devers, saying if you can be good, then be careful.
Right. Good night, fellas.
Good night. Good night.
Surprise your family.